Hello, and thank you so much for joining me. My name is Bree, and today I wanted to offer a bit of a mindful flow where we invite ourselves to slow down and tune into what's going on in our internal landscape. As we shift into this season of cooler and more darker months ahead of us, it offers a time of self-reflection for us to naturally start to slow down with the rhythms of nature and almost do like an annual review, right? To kind of see what went well, maybe what needs some improving, what needs some adjustment, and maybe what can stay the same. And so, can we allow all that to be without going too deep into the weeds? And so offering ourselves to be with all of it and staying present at the same time, which can sometimes be a simple request, but also a big ask at the same time. And so can we practice on our mat and bring it out into the world with us and not get lost in all the minute details and just start to focus on the big takeaways, right? And so we'll do that on our mat in our practice today with our breath and movement, and just start to become curious and explore what's here. So that's the invitation, to just be with all of it, to hold space for both without being pulled in either direction, to kind of maintain a neutral stance. So let's begin by just connecting with the breath. And sitting in a seated position, if it's comfortable to sit on shins, or if you'd like to sit in a cross-legged position, that is just okay as well. Finding a comfortable seat, closing the eyes down or softening the gaze, getting all the little wiggles out, and just finding center, finding stillness. And inviting the body to soften. Inviting the body to soften and the breath to flow in a natural, rhythmic pace. And as we sit here in stillness, just begin to observe. Observe what's here without trying to change it or fix it. We often go into problem-solving mode, and can we have that part just have a seat next to us as we embark on this mindful flow. And just start to take note of the different sensations and vibrations in the body. And then on the next inhale, go ahead and open the eyes. Inhale, float the arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, inflate the arms up, fingers spread wide. And exhale, press palm into palm as you draw the hands down towards heart center. Once more, inhale, reach up towards the sky, and exhale, hands down to heart center. This time, inhale the arms up overhead, and then exhale, plant the right hand down and reach over towards the right with the left fingertips. And seeing if you can release the shoulders down the back. Find some opening in the chest. And maybe shifting the hips over towards the left, just slightly. So getting this nice long line of energy from the left fingertips all the way to the left hip. Big side body stretch here. Breathing into the space. And then we'll inhale up through center and then plant the left hand down. Right arm reaches overhead. So firmly planting that left hand down as the right fingertips reach in the opposite direction. Sending those hips over to the right just slightly. Feeling a nice opening in the right side body. Breathing into the spaces of the rib cage. Feeling yourself expand as you inhale and gently release as you exhale. One more big round of breath. Inhaling yourself up towards center, and we'll make our way onto all fours, coming into tabletop position. So spreading the fingers wide, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll find our familiar cat-cow. So on an inhale, drop the belly, soften the elbows, gaze up into cat. My apologies, into cow. And then exhale, press the ground away, back rounds, tailbone drops into cat. So inhaling, belly drops, tailbone lifts into cat. And then exhale, round the back, tailbone drops into cat. So we'll move through this a few times with your breath and letting your breath lead the way, right? Let it initiate the movement. Using your whole breath to get you there. And start to notice the subtle articulation in the spine as you wave back and forth between cat and cow. One more round here. And we'll meet in a neutral tabletop position. And go ahead and plant the left hand down just below the gaze. And on an inhale, we're going to peel the right fingertips up and reach up towards the ceiling, drawing those shoulder blades back together. And then on an exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So exhale, begin to round the back and thread the arm through. And we're going to stay here for just a second right before we touch. Inhale, press yourself all the way back up. We'll do that twice more. So exhale, round and thread. And just before we hit the ground, we're going to press ourselves back up, finding length, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, thread. And an inhale, opening back up. This time we'll stay. Exhale, reach all the way through. Send the hips back, rest the head down. And maybe that top arm extends out. Breathing deeply here in this twisted position. Allowing the body to relax. even when it's twisted in a pretzel position. And then walking that hand back in front of the gaze, pressing yourself up, reaching all the way up, and then go ahead and sit the hips back towards the heel. Plant the right hand behind you, left arm goes long, and find a nice opening in the front body. So making our way into this twisted camel variation. And you're welcome to stay here or press down through the shins and begin to lift the hips up. Good. And checking in with the low back. Sometimes my low back can be a little bit cranky. And if that's the case, I might want to stay lower. And then on your next exhale, we'll bring ourselves back down into a neutral tabletop position. And we'll do that on the other side. So planting the right hand down just below the gaze. Inhale, rotate yourself open, reaching that left arm up overhead. And then exhale, round the back, thread the arm through. And just before you touch, press yourself back up. Finding length. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, back up. Twice more. Exhale, thread. Inhale, find length. And this time we'll exhale, thread it through and stay. So maybe sending those hips back, resting the head down, and extending that top arm long if that feels good for your body. And 3 full rounds of breath here. Breathing deeply into the spaces of the body that might feel a little bit tense or tight. And then begin to walk that top arm back in front of the gaze if it's not already. And inhale, press down through that right hand to lift yourself all the way up. And then begin to sit the hips back towards the heels as the left hand plants behind and right arm extends long in front. Finding our twisted camel here. And your option to stay here, or if you'd like to press down through the shins and find some opening in the hips. Lifting yourself up. Full round of breath here. And exhale, coming back onto shins, staying here for just a beat, maybe bringing hands to heart center. We exhale, audible, exhale. And then we'll go ahead and make our way onto our booties. So coming into a seat. And we'll extend the legs long. And we'll actually bring the right foot to plant on the inside of the left thigh. And we'll find a bit of a twist here as well. So taking that left arm and wrapping it around the right leg and planting the right hand behind. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Rooting down through both sit bones. And finding length in the spine, the back of the neck, reaching through the crown of the head. Breathing deeply into the twist, allowing for some expansion in the chest as you rotate yourself open towards the right. And then we'll release and extend the right leg long. Plant that left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Take your right arm, wrap it around that left leg, and left hand plants behind. Rolling the shoulders down and back. Again, see if you can use this anchoring, the arm pressing into the leg and the leg pressing back into the arm to help pull that chest forward just slightly. We spend a lot of time in our daily lives in the opposite direction, kind of hunching forward. And so twists like these help us to open up, find some broadness in the collarbones. I know with my daughter, holding her all the time, I feel like I'm constantly rounding forward. And so I'm consciously reminding myself throughout the day to roll my shoulders back and have better posture throughout the day. Good. And then go ahead and release out of the twist, bringing soles of the feet together, finding Baddha Konasana. And we'll go ahead and actually grab for opposite ankles. So crossing the arms. And let's first find length here and then exhale, fold forward. And just letting yourself be heavy. Maybe finding a little sway from side to side. Breathing into the upper back. Feeling it expand as you inhale. And a gentle release as you exhale. And then we'll move with breath. So on an inhale, we're going to rotate ourselves open. So extending that right arm along behind us, maybe gazing back at the thumb. And then exhale, circle that arm around, grabbing for the ankle and twisting to the other side. So opening up towards the left, gazing back at the thumb, and then finding a rotation in the shoulder as you circle back around. So we'll do that a few times with your breath, moving at a pace that feels comfortable for you. And we'll add some variations to it as well. So just more opportunity to explore and get curious about what's here. So inhaling, opening up towards the right, really reaching back, and then exhale, circling that arm back around and switching sides. And making this as big and dramatic as you'd like. Maybe there's a nice big expansion and opening as you inhale and rotate open, and then exhale, circling around and kind of falling forward. And then inhale, letting yourself grow and expand. And then exhale, coming back around and folding forward. Option to grab for the outside of the foot and extend both the leg and the arm. And coming back to center. Grabbing for the outside of the foot as you open up, extending both arm and leg. And just begin to anchor yourself with the breath. As we coordinate movement with breath, it helps to minimize distractions and keep us focused on what is here in the present. Good. Once more each side. Good. And then we will meet in a forward fold in our butterfly position. And then on your next inhale, we'll rise ourselves up and meet back in a cross-legged position, Sukhasana. And let's close out with 3 rounds of breath with a audible exhale, whether you'd like that to be a sigh, a hum, or any sort of vocalization, just to kind of dispel some of that or discharge some of that stuck, stagnant energy. So if you'd like, meeting with hands at heart center. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Twice more. Inhale through the nose. And audible exhale. Once more. Inhale through the nose. And maybe audible exhale as you shake it out. Good. And finding stillness. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you found some benefit in this video, and I look forward to practicing with you again somewhere on your mat. Take care.